when you weren't using actual profit that the president or the Trump organization made, you actually used HOA payments. Do you know how duplicitous it is for you to use HOA payments on a $20 million condo?
Accuse your opponent of being guilty of that which you are actually doing. This, of course, is how the left chooses to live their lives. They are the biggest hypocrites in the entire world. And of course, they have been going after Donald Trump for 8 years over anything they could dream or think up. And of course, Jamie Raskin, this wonderful vaunted member of the House of Representatives, actually released a report accusing Donald Trump of earning millions from foreign governments, right? He's under the influence of these foreign nationals. He is in danger of being blackmailed. He's beholden to all of these outside entities and forces. But of course, we all know that this is totally true in the Hunter Biden case, who is directly getting money for something he does not do, does not earn, does not deserve, just to sell his access to Joe Biden, the big guy, right? But what we're going to see today is, of course, how this report is completely false, completely fabricated, and made up out of thin air. So let's go ahead and check out this crazy segment.
I want to correct the record. It seems this entire hearing we're chasing all of these logical arguments that really don't have any merit. And earlier, before we recessed, we were discussing the ranking member's $7.8 million in foreign payments from at least 20 countries during his presidency. And I knew the answer. I knew that that was revenue, and it wasn't actually profits. Hold on, I will let you ask questions at the end of this. And you said, did I read the report? And so I did. And in the report, it actually specifically says these included payments from foreign governments and foreign government-owned or controlled entities to properties owned by Donald Trump, including Trump International Hotel in D.C., Vegas, Fifth Avenue, and this is my favorite, Trump World Tower at 845 United Nations Plaza in New York. So let's just use that one alone, because if you go down to page 20, footnote 23, it actually clarifies where this money came from to include the amount of money. And so what y'all did is you took a building that was built in 1999 and completed in 2001, and you have, it's 100 yards from the United Nations. So these foreign countries owned multi-million, $10 million, $20 million condos in one of the nicer buildings in New York. And I was just kind of shocked.
So here's the setup from the left. Donald Trump is making millions from foreign nationals at his hotels. But of course, now as we're seeing, it's actually revenue. It is not profit. And the profit is coming from what? This hotel in the United Nations Plaza, where all of these diplomats, all these emissaries from around the world are coming and have deep pockets, and they're paying Trump to actually live in those condos, all right? So this somehow is Donald Trump being influenced, right? Owning a hotel for decades and having people stay there and paying him money to actually live in those rooms. Now, the only way to prove something untoward is going on would be to look at the rent prices of Trump's hotel and compare it to the rent prices of other hotels. And if it is exorbitantly more, like shockingly more, then you could say, maybe there is something going on there, a little quid pro quo happening. But of course, they don't have that evidence. All they're saying is these people paid Trump and they're from foreign governments, so therefore Trump is guilty. But there's even more.
Because I knew that you were using revenue and you weren't using actual profit that the president or the Trump organization made. You actually used HOA payments. Do you know how duplicitous it is for you to use HOA payments on a $20 million condo in New York? Like, it is outrageous. No, you can, I'm going to go through. We're going to go through all of them because you list them. And I see Saudi Arabia, $615, $422,000, Trump World Tower. And you go and you look, there's nothing there that is under $10, $12 million. So you're taking a $12 million property that was owned since 2001, and you're saying that this is somehow similar to Hunter Biden running all over the world and selling the big guy's influence? These are completely different things, and the fact that you even created this report and you're using it to shield us pursuing justice to make sure that this president is not compromised because his son has sold secrets to China, to Ukraine, is so disingenuous, it's so duplicitous, it's not even misrepresentation, it's a lie.
Holy crap. Representative Timmons actually calls Raskin a liar to his face because they're misconstruing the whole context here, right? They're saying that the HOA payments that are being paid on properties worth millions of dollars is somehow in even close to the same wheelhouse as Hunter Biden flying around the world and giving access to his father. Who the heck is compromised? I mean, this is totally insane. But what else do you expect from the left? These are the exact same tactics they use. Go back in history and look at any communist or socialist or dictator country, and they'll be doing the exact same thing, accusing people of crimes they have not committed and then going after them for those supposed crimes.
I'm happy to hear this from you because, again, you told me to go read it. I read it. That's what it says. I can read you in footnote 23 where it says this report uses common charges or rent payments. All of these properties were owned prior to 2018. They didn't go out and purchase them because of the president. They were there for decades before this happened. That's the point. That's the difference.
Okay.
Well, let the
would the
facts
gentleman
get in the way
yield?
of a good story.
Absolutely.
Would the gentleman yield? Thank you, my dear friend, for engaging in substance and not ad hominem attack. I very much appreciate that. Having said that, some of the payments, first of all, you said that there are lies in here. Can you find one factual inaccuracy?
So
There's not one.
for you to
in
tell
fact,
the
you're
Amer-
quoting us.
For you to
You're quoting
reclaim
us.
my
So,
time.
but let
For you-
me make this point. Let me make this point, which is that China
reclaim my
gave
time.
$5.5 million.
It's Mr. Timmons'
I'm
time.
reclaiming
It's Mr. Timmons' time.
For you to tell the American people that $7.8 million went to President Trump is an outright lie. It's a fabrication. Hold on. And I'll tell you exactly why. Because you're using businesses that existed decades prior to when he became president. And
You're saying all of them?
Hold on. And you're using HOA fees for multi-million-dollar properties that have been around since 2001. And again, even the fees that they pay for hotel rooms, that is a fee for a product, for a service. There's no service with Hunter Biden other than influence of the vice president or the president of the United States.
So notice what Raskin says when he's finally caught in this big lie. He says, thank you for engaging in substantive conversation as opposed to just attacking me personally while you rip to shreds my reports. So the idea, of course, is that these people who had been renting these apartments and condos had been living there for years, even prior to Trump's administration. So coming out and saying that this is about influence peddling is completely wrong. And the report, when Raskin says, is there anything factually inaccurate in the report? How about just the conclusions you're drawing that Trump is basically bought and paid for by these foreign governments, that he's exposed to blackmail, etc.? How about all of that? All right. So yeah, you've got all the data in there, which is being read by Representative Timmons right now, saying, oh, look at this. Here's this much money from this person, this much money from that person, this much money for that property and that property and that property. And it's all right there. But guess what? It's all for services rendered, not for simply showing up and having a dad who is powerful and in charge of something. So yes, it's clearly different. And Raskin is out and out lying. And this narrative they're trying to spin of Donald Trump being corrupt is completely false and full of garbage. So this is the normal thing we see from the left, of course. So as usual, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and stay safe out there, people, because they're coming after you.